Hey guys, the Huawei Mate 30 series just launched in Munich and boys, there are a whole lot to cover. There's the Mate 30, Mate 30 Pro, the 5G versions of those phones, and the Porsche Design Mate 30 RS. So let's get right into it. The Pro and non-Pro look pretty similar, but there are noticeable differences that help set them apart. The Mate 30 has a 6.62-inch 2340 by 1080 display, while the Pro has a 6.53-inch 2400 by 1176 curved horizon display. The notch on the Pro is a little wider as well to house the gesture, proximity, depth, and ambient light sensors, along with the selfie camera. The phones unlock via 3D face unlock and an optical in-display fingerprint sensor. The gesture sensor on the Mate 30 Pro allows you to hold out your hand in front of the phone to scroll down a page or take a screenshot. It was quite difficult getting the scrolling to work, but the screenshot gesture was easy enough. This feature could be more useful if more gestures were added, but as of right now, I see no real reason to use it. There's also this neat implementation of screen rotation that detects the position of your eyes to keep the screen upright. So if you're watching a video and decide to lie down on the sofa, you don't have to fiddle with the rotation settings. It works quite well and is pretty cool. Since there's no earpiece, the Mate 30 uses the acoustic display technology from the P30 Pro. There's also no volume rocker on the Mate 30 Pro, so if you want to change the volume, you just double tap on either side of the curved display and it'll bring up the volume control. This isn't the most elegant solution, and I had to tap it at a certain angle to get the volume to pop up. Powering the phones is Huawei's latest Kirin 990 chip. The 5G variants will feature the Kirin 990 5G. The Mate 30 runs on a 4200 mAh cell, while the Mate 30 Pro has a 4500 one. There's a quick 40W supercharge as well as a 27W wireless supercharge. Reverse wireless charging is still here and it's supposedly 3 times faster. Every year, Huawei places heavy emphasis on their cameras and this year is no exception. On the back of the phone, you'll see the Halo Ring design cameras. The cameras among devices look similar, but they actually differ quite a bit. The Mate 30 has a 40MP f1.8 main camera, a 16MP f2.2 ultra-wide, an 8MP f2.4 telephoto camera, and a laser focus camera. It has an ISO level of up to 204,800 and is capable of capturing macro photos as close as 2.5cm. The Mate 30 Pro, on the other hand, has a 40MP f1.6 main camera, a 40MP f1.8 ultra-wide, an 8MP f2.4 telephoto camera, and a 3D depth sensor. It has a crazy high max ISO level of 409,600 along with dual OIS and AIS. Both phones are equipped with 3x optical zoom, 5x hybrid zoom, and 30x digital zoom. One thing I noticed when taking photos with the Mate 30 Pro is that the curved horizon display messes up my framing quite a bit. The edges are so curved, 88 degrees curved to be exact, that you might find unwanted objects at the edge of your framing, like this, and this. As for video features, Huawei is calling the cameras on the Mate 30 Pro SuperSensing Cine cameras, boasting features like 4K 60 frames, 4K HDR, 4K time-lapse, and real-time cinematic bokeh. There's also a high 51,200 max ISO and an insane 7,680 FPS slow motion. The slow motion actually looks pretty good with no signs of flickering with the lighting at the launch. The exposure is also well maintained despite the absurd frame rate. The downside is that you're limited to just 720 HD video at this frame rate. In order to demonstrate the 7,680 FPS slow motion, here's a montage of me slapping 4 guys. Despite the Cine moniker, there's no built-in log of flat profiles, but Huawei says that there's tight integration with Filmic Pro for more professional use cases. The Mate 30 series comes in Space Silver, Cosmic Purple, and Emerald Green. There's also a vegan leather option that comes in Orange and Forest Green, but that'll only be available for the 5G variants. Finally, we get to the Porsche Design Mate 30 RS. The phone is essentially a special edition of the Mate 30 Pro. What you get is a genuine leather backed in either red or black colorways and a unique sporty launcher theme. There's also a bump in specs as the RS gets 12GB of RAM and 512GB of internal storage. A separate leather strap accessory for the back of the phone acts as a stand as well. Now for pricing. There's no word on local pricing and availability just yet, but we're told it will be announced very soon. As far as European pricing goes, the Mate 30 with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage will go for €799. That's about 3,700 ringgit. The Mate 30 Pro with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage will go for €1,099, or about 5,000 ringgit. The Mate 30 Pro 5G on the other hand goes for 1,199 euros, or about 5,500 ringgit. And lastly, the Porsche Design Mate 30 RS retails for a whopping 2,095 euros. That's about 9,700 ringgit. Oof. Well, that's it guys. Let us know what you think of the Mate 30 series in the comments, and as always, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you guys in the next one.